I had went to the bathroom around 9 or 10 o'clock that night. I wasn't feeling good, so I went to the bathroom and I almost passed out in the bathroom. And I yelled for my husband because, my vision started getting bad. Everything around me was just getting very spacey. And I got that feeling in the back of my neck where it just gets numb. And I couldn't move my legs. I felt like I was going to vomit. And I was like, I need to lay in the bed. And this is where I'm going to start getting emotional, because at that point, I didn't know what was happening. I thought maybe I was getting a blood clot. And I got in my bed and I laid there. And it was like I couldn't move. I couldn't feel my limbs. I didn't know what was happening to me. My kids were running in the room because I told my husband, I was like, call 911. Because I literally thought I was 60. I thought I was going to die in front of my kids. They were all standing there crying and just looking at me laying in this bed. And I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was going to die. And for 5 months, I could not say that out loud. I'm sorry. So, the paramedics got there. They assessed me, they ran the EKG and started an IV. I'm sorry, y'all, this is like raw. This is the first time I've talked about it in 5 months. They started the IV, they got me stable and put me on the stretcher to take me to the hospital, and my kids watched me get wheeled out on the stretcher after mommy just finally came home from the hospital. And as they're wheeling me out of the house, my kids were sitting there, they can't figure out what's going on. Mommy, are you gonna die? What's happening? And I didn't know what to tell them, because what if they took me to the hospital and I would have died and never came home? Like, how do you explain that to your kids? My 7-year-old was hugging the pillow with these big crocodile tears coming out of his eyes. And I didn't know what to tell him. I was just like, Mommy, you'll be back. And I hoped that I would be back. And that right there started a deep, ugly depression and anxiety. So I get in the ambulance. I'm physically shaking. I'm shaking so bad. Like, think of the coldest moment you've ever had in your life and how trembly you were. So I went to the bathroom myself. And then the nurse comes in there and sees me in the bathroom, and because I'm there for dizziness, she starts yelling at me, oh, you're not, and I get it, you're not supposed to be up. I know, I worked in the hospital before. But what do you want me to do? I'm bleeding like somebody just ripped my uterus out, and I'm about to poop my pants. You know what I'm saying? And I left the door cracked open so somebody could see me in case I did pass out and fall. So anyways, I was like, excuse me, I was like, can you please give me another pad or something, or a diaper? Hell, I don't care what you give me, just please give me something. We don't have those down here. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, she tried to hand me like a regular sanitary pad, and I was like, I just had a baby 2 days ago. I can't use that. Please go find me one. So she finally did, and she brought it. And the doctor comes in. Regular, I guess they're emergency medicine, internal medicine, I don't know what they are. I guess they're emergency medicine. He comes in and sits in a chair next to my bed. Sits down, crosses his legs. How may I help you? Like I just walked into Home Depot or something. How may I help you? So I explained to him, I said, I just had a baby 2 days ago. I was induced 5 weeks early for pre-eclampsia, and I was discharged 3 hours ago. This is what the symptoms are and what's going on. He looks at me and says, well, I don't know what to do for you. I said, are you serious right now? I was like, you're a doctor. That makes me feel real confident how you're going to care for me. Well, I guess I'll run some tests. So anyways, the nurses, when the older nurse lady came in, I asked her, I said, can you, because I was still trembling, I said, can you please ask the doctor if he can give me something in my IV to help me calm down, to help me relax? Well, you should, if you're having anxiety problems, you shouldn't take medicine for that. You should find a natural remedy like yoga or meditating. Excuse me. I said, really? I said, I get it because I'm all about not taking pills. I hate taking medicine. I said, but I'm scared. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm anxious and shaking. I'm physically shaking and physically sick to my stomach because I'm scared. I don't know what's happening right now. Well, whatever, I'll ask him. So she leaves. Looks fine, we're gonna let you go home. Never called up to the OB department to say, hey, a patient of yours that you just discharged 2 hours ago is back. Maybe they would want me to come back up there. No, they didn't. They didn't bother checking with them. So the doctor leaves, and in comes the older nurse again. And she brings in this green folder and hands it to me and says, here, you need to go, you can go here and have a mental evaluation done at Peace River. And if you're from where I'm from, Peace River, it's a place that services people with, that are mentally ill or have any kind of psychological issues going on. And I do. I suffer from anxiety and depression outside of pregnancy. Like, that's handled. Like, this is a completely different case right now. So she hands me this folder full of, printouts of anxiety, depression, what to do, blah, blah, blah. Completely dismissing the fact that I had a baby 2 days ago, that I had pre-eclampsia. So I'm like super upset right now because now I'm offended. Like, you're dismissing me as, crazy right now when I have absolute every reason to be upset and to be scared. You're treating me like I'm a, I don't even know what the word would be. I guess maybe overreacting. I don't know. So I was admitted, which I should have been admitted when I went back to the hospital via ambulance, but I was dismissed. So this is the problem, and this is the whole point of me coming on here and telling you guys this. Postpartum depression and anxiety is awful, and for the last 5 months, which I'm finally getting better, I'm finally feeling like myself, but I went to a really dark place. Like, I can't even explain to you guys. Like, I'm ashamed as a person to where my thoughts went. And it hurts to even think about the things that I thought about. But us as women, we can't talk about this. Because everybody just writes us off. Everybody just makes it out like, oh, you're crazy, or what are you complaining for? You just had a baby. You should be so happy. Oh, you just got a house. You should be so happy. But you have no idea how ugly it can get inside. I was an empty shell for a couple months after having the baby. Like, I couldn't figure out why I was so depressed. And now that, like I said, this was the first time I've talked about this since having the baby. And rereading this email that I sent the hospital has really, when I opened that email up and started reading it, I started getting hot. My stomach started hurting. I started getting short of breath, and it made me realize that one incident did so much damage to me. And then to be that, and that's the whole reason I'm on Facebook in front of God knows how many people that are watching this, ugly crying, face all red and snotty. But I don't care, because if I help one person, one woman, one young lady get through their depression and their anxiety, whether they've had a baby or not, but most definitely postpartum anxiety and depression, speak up for yourself. And if you don't have nobody to talk to, at least just write your thoughts down. You can always, send us a message here at Mama's Tired, and I may not know the answer to help you, but I will give you resources, or I will be your ear to vent to, because though I don't know all you ladies out there, I love you and I empathize with you, because I've been there and I know how you feel. And I'm sitting in a room right now, away from where anybody in my house can hear me or see me, because I don't want anybody seeing me making this video, because I would be highly embarrassed sitting in this room crying. But talking about my feelings, it's hard. It's hard to talk about how you feel, but, be honest with your doctor. That's the first thing. Please see your, depending on how fresh OB you are, postpartum you are, go see your OB, talk to them. There's options. There's, I think there's breastfeeding friendly pills you can take. I wasn't able to breastfeed because of the issues that I had in the amount of medication that I came home on. I was taking 6 blood pressure pills a day on top of my diabetes stuff, anxiety stuff, all this mess. At one point I told my doctor I was even considering going the cannabis route. And he said, wow, he said, thank you for being honest with me. He was like, but let's try this first, because I was just desperate to get help. I was desperate to not feel dead inside anymore. And I am happy to say that I'm finally feeling like a person again. I'm finally feeling like myself. So, cheers to you all. And if you need us, well, need me, because I'm a one-man show, but the inbox is always open, so feel free to write in if you need to just let some feelings out, okay? Have a good night.